A major debate is brewing across the NASCAR garage, as reports suggest the Cup Series is preparing to bring back longer practice sessions, a move that many fans have celebrated, but one that is already drawing fierce criticism from within the sport. At the center of the controversy is Freddie Kraft, spotter for 23X racing star Bubba Wallace, who believes the proposed change could create an unintended consequence, making races less exciting. While NASCAR appears determined to give teams more track time, some insiders fear the decision could actually reduce the unpredictability that has fueled some of the season's most entertaining battles. According to reports, NASCAR is expected to replace the current split group format with a single 50-minute practice session, featuring the entire field on track. Teams would also receive 2 sets of tires, giving them significantly more opportunities to fine-tune their cars before qualifying and race day. On the surface, the move sounds like a victory for fans and competitors alike. However, Kraft argues that the additional track time may allow teams to eliminate mistakes and close performance gaps so effectively that passing becomes increasingly difficult once the green flag drops. Using last weekend's Atlanta race as an example, Kraft pointed to the chaotic opening stages that occurred when teams arrived with limited preparation. Drivers struggled to find the perfect setup, resulting in varying speeds throughout the field and creating opportunities for overtakes. In his view, that unpredictability is exactly what makes NASCAR racing compelling. The more time teams spend dialing in their cars, the smaller the performance differences become, and the more difficult it is for drivers to gain an advantage on the racetrack. His comments have sparked a wider discussion about whether NASCAR should prioritize competitive parity or technical perfection. Critics of the proposed changes argue that modern teams already possess enormous amounts of simulation data and engineering resources. Giving them even more practice time could further narrow the competitive window, leading to races where track position becomes more important than wheel-to-wheel action. For fans craving aggressive racing and dramatic comebacks, that possibility is raising serious concerns. Supporters of the change, however, see a completely different picture. They argue that longer practice sessions could provide a lifeline for smaller and mid-tier organizations that lack the advanced simulation tools available to powerhouse teams. With more time on track, underfunded teams would have a better opportunity to understand changing conditions, improve their setups, and potentially close the gap to the sport's elite. Ironically, a rule designed to level the playing field may end up benefiting the very teams NASCAR is trying to help. As NASCAR remains silent on the reported proposal, the controversy continues to grow. Denny Hamlin has ignited a fresh firestorm across the NASCAR world after publicly blasting NASCAR's decision to eliminate the regular season championship from the Cup Series. The timing could hardly be more controversial. Hamlin currently sits atop the standings with a commanding 68-point advantage and 4 victories, making him the overwhelming favorite to claim the honor. Yet just as he appears poised to secure the title, NASCAR has effectively erased it from existence, triggering accusations from fans that the sport is changing the rules in the middle of a historic campaign. The Joe Gibbs racing veteran did not hide his frustration during the latest episode of his Actions Detrimental podcast. Hamlin sarcastically suggested that NASCAR simply did not want him to become a champion, pointing out the irony that the award disappeared just as he was in position to win it. His comments immediately spread across social media, where supporters and critics alike debated whether NASCAR had devalued one of the few rewards for season-long excellence. For many fans, Hamlin's reaction captured a growing concern that consistency is no longer being rewarded the way it once was. The controversy goes far beyond one driver. NASCAR's new championship structure represents one of the most dramatic changes to the modern era of the sport. The elimination-style playoff format is being scrapped in favor of a system more closely resembling the original chase format. While NASCAR argues the overhaul will create a fairer and more compelling championship battle, critics are already questioning whether the new rules place too much emphasis on the final 10 races while diminishing the significance of the first 26. What has fueled even more debate is the treatment of the regular season points leader. Under the new format, the driver who dominates the opening portion of the season will no longer receive a trophy, championship designation, or official title. Instead, that driver receives only a modest playoff points advantage. In Hamlin's case, his current 68-point lead would be reduced to a relatively small edge once the postseason begins. The backlash has exposed a deep divide within the NASCAR community. Supporters of the changes argue that championships should be decided under maximum pressure and that a tighter playoff battle will generate more excitement. Opponents counter that removing the regular season championship sends the wrong message to teams that spend months building consistency and accumulating points. They argue that a driver can dominate most of the year only to see much of that advantage wiped away when the playoffs begin. Despite his frustration, Hamlin remains one of the favorites to capture the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series title. His level of consistency has drawn comparisons to some of the greatest seasons in stock car racing history, and the number 11 Toyota continues to set the standard on many weekends. For much of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season, Toyota has looked nearly untouchable. Week after week, the manufacturer has stacked top finishes, controlled races, and established itself as the benchmark every other organization is chasing. At Chicagoland, Toyota delivered yet another statement performance by placing an astonishing 7 cars inside the top 10, reinforcing the belief that the championship battle currently runs through the Toyota camp. But according to NASCAR Hall of Famer Dale Earnhardt Jr., a major shift may finally be starting to emerge beneath the surface. Speaking on the Dale Jr. download, Earnhardt Jr. acknowledged Toyota's dominance, but suggested that both Ford and Chevrolet are beginning to close the performance gap faster than many fans realize. While Toyota still appears superior on long runs thanks to exceptional downforce and tire management, Dale Jr. believes the competition is finally finding speed where it matters most. The warning was clear: Toyota may still be leading the war, but its rivals are no longer being left behind. One of the biggest reasons for that growing optimism is Hendrick Motorsports. Despite Kyle Larson's frustrating spin while running inside the top 5 at Chicagoland, the number 5 Chevrolet showed race-winning speed throughout much of the event. William Byron also demonstrated strong pace before pit strategy shuffled him backward. For Earnhardt Jr., those performances were not isolated flashes of speed. They were signs that Chevrolet's flagship organization is beginning to uncover the answers needed to challenge Toyota's stranglehold on the sport. The timing of this potential turnaround could not be more significant. With the NASCAR playoffs rapidly approaching, every manufacturer is searching for momentum. Toyota may currently enjoy the upper hand, but the emergence of stronger short-run speed from Chevrolet and Ford could dramatically alter race strategies over the coming weeks. If those gains continue, fans could soon witness the most intense manufacturer battle NASCAR has seen in years, transforming what once looked like a predictable championship fight into a high-stakes showdown. Ironically, even Earnhardt Jr. admitted that he initially enjoyed watching Toyota's rise to power. Yet after months of seeing the same manufacturer dominate headlines, he now finds himself eager for a genuine challenger to emerge. That sentiment is increasingly shared throughout the NASCAR community. Fans who once marveled at Toyota's superiority are beginning to ask a different question: what happens when the competition finally catches up? The answer may determine the entire 2026 season. Toyota still holds the advantage, and few believe the manufacturer will suddenly lose its edge overnight. However, the warning signs are there. Hendrick Motorsports appears to be closing rapidly. Ford teams are showing flashes of renewed competitiveness, and confidence inside rival camps continues to grow.